Greetings! What's up, guys and girls, and a very warm welcome, watchers. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Coming at you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle, fresh from the ladder, and wouldn't you know it, it's that notorious Russian once again spawning in the north, but this time controversially playing as the Wehrmacht pieces. It is Jove. And spawning in the south, playing as the United Kingdom forces, it is going to be USS Enterprise, who is a player I've never cast before, but if he's being matched up against Jove, one can only imagine that he is a player of reasonable, if not exceptional, caliber. The map, of course, is going to be Arnhem checkpoints, so plenty of garrisons, buildings, mixed cover throughout the map. This is one of the more recent maps added to the pool, and I mean, opinions are divided on this map, but I actually do really like it, so I think it's actually a really cool map. So yeah, Arnhem checkpoint here is gonna be the map. Now, I realise that this is like the 4th game in a row, or maybe just the 3rd that I've cast involving Jove. I assure you, this is pure coincidence. He is just the top-rated game on the live games ladder every time I've come on to cast off of the live games ladder every time I've done it for the last like 3 times. So yeah, looks like we're gonna be watching Jove play again. Now again, I kind of don't mind this because let's face it, the kid is incredibly good. Like he is I think he's the best player in the game right now based on pure game ability. He's #1 with most of the factions, just according to the leaderboards. He's taking down every tournament he enters, pretty much, and he's just incredibly talented. However, you may or may not know, those of you out there, that there is some controversy surrounding him as of the most recent ESL. That was this Sunday just gone, whereby he and Nagano, 2 Russian players, made it into the finals and then decided to troll the entire community by not really playing the games out. Which, I mean, they're clearly. I think my understanding is they're both very young. I think Jove is 17. I mean, that's not very young. It's definitely no excuse. And I don't know how old Nagano is, but for whatever reason, they decided to basically troll the entire community. So I have gone from being an avid supporter of Nagano, who is just like one of my favorite up-and-coming players, and having top respect for Jove, who clearly puts in the hours and is incredibly skilled. I've gone from having that opinion to being slightly wary of them, if I'm honest. Not that that will have any effect on them or anybody else. I'm just saying, like, it's hard to like someone who decided to troll the community that hard at that, at that exact moment when everyone was really excited for what could have been a tremendous set of games between 2 of the best players and the 2 of the best Russians, for sure, in the game. So that was really sad. Now, I wasn't actually watching when it happened, and I haven't spoken to either of the players. In fact, I've not even spoken to Stormless or Kluge, the casters, about it, really. I've just heard what I've heard from the Twitch chat and from the community when I tuned in just after it all happened. So, anyway, I do realise I'm rambling a bit, but I just thought I would update the community on this because I don't know. It's just a really off thing to do. It's just a pretty immature thing to do if things went down as I've been told they did. So anyway, let's liberate our minds from the chains of this random spiel that I've been going on about for ages and focus on what's going on. That was a clutch Panzerfaust there from Jove. This one-man grenadier going to smash the Bren carrier and then GTFO. That's quite nice. There's been plenty of exchanges around in the middle of the map between Vickers and MG42s, as well you might expect between these 2 factions on this map. And seemingly neither player really getting the upper hand at this point, which doesn't particularly surprise me. Wehrmacht, of course, one of those factions with a slightly slower start most times, as are United Kingdom forces. Both of them, their strength mostly at this point in the game, pretty much in those MG teams, and so both of them kind of skirmishing more or less evenly in the middle of the field. Jove, of course, slightly further ahead because he did pick up that Bren carrier very nicely with the retreating Panzerfaust in this location here. So safe to say he's doing quite well. Resource and map control-wise, the 2 players are in fact more or less even. Enterprise has been enjoying a slim advantage for some time in that regard. So yeah, this game pretty much as close as you could get really to being even, except for the fact that Enterprise has lost his Bren carrier, which is a bit of a setback, but nothing to write home about. And Bren carriers, light vehicles, very susceptible to going down early in the game, so that's pretty de rigueur, really. Pardon me. So looks like Jove has gone ahead and locked in his commander straight away. I've noticed Jove is very decisive with his commanders. He doesn't often wait to be reactive. So he's gone for the Elite Troops Doctrine, which we have here. You can press pause on the YouTube channel if you want to review those abilities at your leisure, though I dare say many of you will already be familiar with it. So, yep, looks like he's going to have that. He did have one of his bulletins to buff Stormtroopers, this one here on the end. And Stormtroopers have 2% increased accuracy and can move 3% faster. Is that right? Wow. So, yep, looks like this is a doctrine that he's well used to using, one that he puts a reasonable amount of faith or stock in. So, it'll be interesting to see how Jove is going to deploy this. We know, of course, Jove is a prolific user of the partisan doctrine when he plays as his favored faction, the Soviets. So it seems likely that he's probably going to be quite good at using these ambushing troops, the stormtroopers, and they are now available. So let's look to see, pardon me, how and if he's going to use them. Using the stun grenades here to fantastic effect, allowing this MG42 to start chewing into the Royal Engineers. They're going to have to fall back quickly, I think. They've gotten out of the building, but they are not falling back. What is going on with that? Is this some kind of bug or a glitch? It seems to be like you would fall that back immediately. It's not even opening fire. Is this guy stuck? Uh-oh. Yeah, he's kind of pivoting on the spot. I think that this is a glitch. I think that USS Enterprise may stand to lose these Royal Engineers due to this really unfortunate bug. That looks... I mean, I can't imagine... No, this is definitely not working as intended. Alright, well, that's a big shame. The other units here are going to... Okay, there we go. So maybe he just wasn't paying any attention. I don't know. Anyway, the Vickers gun. Oh, he's going to get brutalized on the retreat. Those guys getting absolutely mown the huck down by the MG42 on the retreat path there. Plenty of DACA, all that is needed to end the lives of those Englishmen. And on the build queue for USS Enterprise, he has, of course, finished his platoon command post. He'll be coming out with an SAS sniper and an AEC armored carrier. So pretty... an AEC armored scout car. So that's pretty standard tactics. Jove, having wiped now 2 of his opponent's units and having a good field presence here, has actually taken this opportunity to push up. If I correct attack, you can see what I mean. He's pushing up, he's taking mid, he's grabbing some points. He may take a dive for this cutoff. This cutoff. It's unlikely, but possible. He'd have to be feeling pretty ballsy for that. And we're going to have a skirmish over here on the right flank between these Grenadiers and these Tommies. There it is now. So, yeah, interesting times, definitely. Enterprise now firmly on the back foot. He's gone from being slightly on the back foot after the loss of his Bren carrier. He's now firmly on the back foot. He is going to grab the Vickers, which he desperately needs. The AC is going to storm forwards. It's probably just going to get Fausted, though, so he has to be careful of that. This is really strange. Why would you just drive into the Grenadiers like that? Not sure I like that at all. Certainly the machine gun on the AEC and the way it now works against infantry, that is a way of getting the maximum damage out of it, but I don't know, a little bit unusual there from USS Enterprise. Not sure I like that at all. MG42 gets into this building, but a flamethrower is in position, and that is going to start abusing the hell out of this machine gun. This AEC has to play it really careful, though. I mean, there is a 200 Zvantage coming out onto the field. Nice camo. Coming out onto the field. So this AEC has to be pretty careful. Now, the SAS sniper is on the field. He's just been rallied here. He's not actually coming to the front. Uh-oh. So that's a bit of a shame, because he could be chipping in a lot of damage onto this 222. The AEC is going to score a miss there. There we go. The SAS sniper moving on to the field. Aye, which way bollock do you want shot off first? He's going to be moving on out. AEC just getting repaired now by the Royal Engineers, and USS Enterprise stabilising a bit now. I like his force. 2 squads of Tommies with the Medi kits, 2 squads Royal Engineers, 1 with Flamer. Hopefully going to see a metal detector on this other squad. SAS Sniper and an AEC with a Vickers gun on support is a very nice, well-rounded package. Compare and contrast to the forces of Jove, he has 3 squads of Grenadiers, 1 of Stormtroopers, those Pioneers, and a 222. A very, very well-rounded force as well for this phase in the game, but actually very small compared to the force of USS Enterprise, which surprises me. That's just the difference there between the teching costs, I guess, between the 2 factions. The fact that Jove he's not stacking too many resources. I mean, he could buy another unit, that's for sure. The fact that the British player has lost, like, the Bren carrier and also took out his Vickers as well. And he's still got a similarly sized army. Oh, very nice. I guess that was an attack round. That was very precise there. USS Enterprise getting a fantastic pickup. Royal Engineers getting into the building. They're going to start roasting and toasting these Stormtroopers. Sorry, that's really nice. And they're going to have to... Okay, the Royal Engineers fall back. The Stormtroopers fall back. Now we've got a fight here in mid. Sniper exposed, though, running through negative cover. Jove spots it, focuses fire, but not for long. He needs to get into cover. Meanwhile, over on the left flank, the AEC going to be pushing back the Pioneers. And Enterprise actually looking really spicy right now. He's pushing really hard. He's managed to grab this munitions. Jove has to send a squad over there to deal with that. Meanwhile, though, Jove's grabbing the fuel over here on the right flank. And also, Jove gets the Dream Church. So, things were looking really, really, really strong there for USS Enterprise, but he's going to have to take a second here to just catch his breath. A lot of his squads are falling back and reinforcing. Jove's got a little moment here to push back, and that he is doing. As I take a sip on my tea. So, yeah, a beautiful exchange there. And Enterprise here looking very strong. If he can keep this up, we're definitely in for a really good game as we hit the 10-minute mark. This has been a fantastic start. More stun grenades coming down, though. Look how much damage they did. Those are fantastic. Those are really good. It's kind of almost accepted, basically, that those are kind of not quite working as intended. They're a bit too powerful. So, as far as I know, they should be in for a fix in the upcoming patch. Oh, that is some good tea. Tommy's on the right flank here, should be enough to push aside these grenadiers. That is, assuming there's no rifle grenade. A rifle grenade could turn the tide here if Enterprise isn't paying attention. But the rate of fire upgrade and the lethality of these Lee Enfield rifles should be enough. Having said that, they are kind of losing this fight. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, the Royal Engineers are going to push yet further up. These Stormtroopers could be in for a bit of roasting and toasting. Actually, I think they're just far enough away where they're not going to get licked by that flamethrower. Tommy's taking up a nice building here. They're going to start exchanging fire. And this is all looking, again, pretty good for Enterprise. He manages to take this middle fight, as I suspected he would. Now the Tommies can use their med kits as well, so that they can keep pushing on this flank at full strength. Things looking really nice here. The SAS Sniper rallying back out to the front. He's actually in range of these Grenadiers if he wants to stop and take a pot shot, but seemingly going to prioritize moving forwards there. AEC manages to find another profitable engagement here on the left flank. Is there a Panzerschreck upgrade coming? No, STG upgrade coming on the second squad of Stormtroopers. So bear in mind, we've got one Stormtrooper squad with the Panzerschreck, and we've got one with the STG 44s. So I like this. I like this differential between the two Stormtrooper squads.
Army commandos ready to go.
Royal Engineers here doing a good job on this leftmost victory point, but I have to say, actually, you know what? Behind all this, actually, as well as Enterprise has been doing in terms of engagements and in terms of field control and resource income, actually, look at the victory points. He is actually trailing by, as near as makes no difference, 170 tickets right now. Jove's still at a perfect 500, so he's going to have to be quite careful, is Enterprise, as we move forwards, just to keep an eye on that. Now we do have commandos entering the field. Enterprise has, of course, chosen his commander. Of course, I should have mentioned this earlier, because we've had Royal Engineers with Flamers for ages, but we do have the Mobile Assault Regiment, so that's the land mattress. Commandos can pop out of all over the cover and things. Advanced cover combat and so forth. It's all very strong. Oh, this Grenadier very weak. If we see some focus fire from these Tommies, they are focusing that Grenadier. It's unlikely they're going to get him. He is going to get out of there. That would have been a nice pickup there for USS Enterprise, but not going to come through, as so often is the case. In fact, you know, if that Grenadier squad had gone down, Jove would have been in a seriously bad spot. But anyway, wow, the sniper a bit close. The Stormtroopers are going to come forward. They could use their tactical advance ability if they felt like it to output some more damage. Looks like they're not going to bother, and I don't blame Jove there, actually. That would have been munitions badly spent. Don't do what the caster says, Jove. Don't do it. And finally, Enterprise has marshaled 2 of the victory points. He is now chipping away at Jove's VP score. 478 and falling now for Jove, so Enterprise doing what needs to be done. And I have to say, I really like what I'm seeing. I think if we maybe see the 5-man squad upgrade or a company command post coming up momentarily, that would be really good. He could, of course, also go for some land mattresses. What's the plural of... It is mattresses, isn't it? Of course, that's really boring. I was hoping we could have a really funky plural, like mattressox, or mattressai, or... Mattress-oxen. I like that, actually, yeah. 1 land mattress, 2 land mattress-oxen. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, Ostwind here going to be the weapon of choice here for Jove. Wow. Controversial, but I like it, because there's no 6-pounder. And the company command post is going to be the tech of choice here. So we are going to be going up to the full tech tree for the Brit player. Maybe he'll have designs on getting something out. Whoa! But the AEC is going to get tagged by a Faust out in the open here. The Ostwind is on the field and could redirect. There are Stormtroopers. No, those aren't Stormtroopers. Those are Royal Engineers, sorry. There are Stormtroopers with a Shrek. Whereabouts are they? Not close enough to help out. This AEC is probably going to make it out of here then. That was close. If the Ostwind comes and finds this, though, there is still danger for USS Enterprise. So he's going to have to be careful. And he's also just lost a squad. That will have been his sniper. I didn't actually see where the sniper died there. Oh, here he is. So the sniper gets cut down in this location just here in the bottom right of the screen here that I'm highlighting with the mouse. Gets cut down by Stormtroopers in cover. That's pretty brutal. A brutal loss there for sure for USS Enterprise. But not too bad. His army's still, you know, that pretty much puts the 2 players at parity as far as their armies go. Whereas before, USS Enterprise had a pretty big advantage. Now, the Ostwind has revealed itself. It's now chunking through mid here. And that's a prickly fight for the AEC. Oh! Hits a mine, a well-positioned mine. Jove. It's so rare that he falls foul of mines. Jove, normally the mine abuser. Here comes the AEC. The AEC just wants a piece of this. He's going to drive in really hard here. The Grenadiers could come out and Faust this. I don't know about rushing this so hard. USS Enterprise getting way carried away. He needs to get this AEC the hell out of here. But he's going to get snared up by Panzerfaust. This is a really... I just don't like this move at all. I do not like this move at all. If Jove is paying any kind of... He doesn't have the munitions. Jove does not have the munitions for a Panzerfaust. So USS Enterprise is going to get incredibly lucky here, and the AEC is going to escape. Wow, I did not like that move with the AEC, but Jove didn't have the munitions for a Panzerfaust, and he's going to get away with it. That is... I mean, there's no way USS Enterprise could have known that, so that is luck. Wow. God damn, that is luck. And a Gammon bomb comes down into the building. Boom! But Jove is on point, gets his Grenadiers out of the building. Meanwhile, Tommy's here exchanging with Storm Pioneers at close range. Ostwind is here on support, but isn't chipping in at the moment. Its engine is still broken, so that's a risky proposition. Sun Grenade, gonna be coming down here, might catch the Royal Engineers, wastes the the Vickers crew in the building, and Enterprise needs to be paying attention to this very quickly. The Panzerschreck here manages to find the AEC as it drives past this opening here. Now the AEC is turbo low, the Ostwind could finish it. He's being so aggressive now, he's just gonna drive on in. Why not? And here comes the Panzerfaust to finish it. What? That is such reckless use of your AEC. Wow, it's like he wanted to lose that. Anyway, here comes a 6-pounder moving up into position here. And it reveals itself by firing at that building. Bit of a shame. This Vickers gun needs to get that. Here we go. He's going to move it out now. But yeah, this 6-pounder is kind of in the open here. He needs to be really careful with that. Now, he does have line of sight to the Ostwind, so he could put down the 6-pounder. Here we go. He puts it down. He's going to start taking some shots here. Bang. Biff. Hit is scored. Joe's going to have to think about moving this. He does start moving it. An attack round could be the difference here. USS Enterprise has been on point with those, but not today. Not right now. And he's going to get that out. These engineers need to run away home. There we go, because they're in a crippled building and they're on crippled health. The stormtroopers here being hounded down by engineers and... sorry, not engineers, by Tommies and stormtroopers. They're going to get out this pack. What? Sorry, this 6-pounder. This is just a donation to the Jove Fund here. He really wants that last hit, and he's probably going to get it. Okay, wow. That is so risky. USS Enterprise getting away with that. And he's even going to kind of take this cutoff here, which is kind of nice. Now, remember, behind this, you might have heard the announcer say the Vickers gun crew, here it is, was mowed down. So that'll be due to these stormtroopers with their... Oh, no, they're probably going to get this as well. Look, these guys are in a fantastic location, actually, just to cause havoc with the British forces. This is really annoying. So, yeah, they're going to start gunning down the 6-pounder. They've already picked up the Vickers. And I feel like a land mattress would be a really good choice around about now on this map. I feel like Enterprise, except for the Flamers on his Royal Engineers, he really hasn't gotten a lot of use out of this commander, as I pause for a sip of my tea. So, yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, but Enterprise is in a pretty bad position right now. He's bleeding out on victory points. His map control is non-existent. His army composition has gone from being superior and bigger to being about the same size and about the same, you know, like composition. Like, there's no compositional advantage here. Like, these two armies more or less even. So, Enterprise definitely losing the momentum here, falling onto the back foot. Jove doing a really good job. These stun grenades have been prolific at hitting that building. But you know what else is prolific? There we go, yeah. Commandos at that kind of range, pretty nasty. He needs to get the 5-man squad upgrade, though. The Infiltration Commandos, is that a different squad? Because they seem to only have 4 guys. Yeah, Infiltration Commandos only have 4 guys, not 5. Huh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I've so rarely seen this commander used. Believe me, I try to cast any game I see with it, but it just doesn't seem to have been used very often when I'm casting. Anyway, looks like we're going to have a good old Cromwell versus Panzer IV. Looks like both players going to be moving on into their factions' respective medium tanks. And, you know, as good as the Panzer IV is, and it is definitely a more expensive tank, I actually just like the Cromwell more. It feels more maneuverable. It feels like the gun just does more against both infantry and armor. Now, I know that isn't actually true. The Panzer IV's cannon is really, really good against tanks and so forth, but the Cromwell is also just cheaper, like by enough to make a difference. Wow, these Royal Engineers taking massive risks there, dodging the stun grenade to get some licking of flame onto the Axis units there. Not quite enough, but they are going to fall back, so not punished for it too hard is Enterprise. He's also managed to reconnect a reasonable amount of map control. He's even going to try and redress the victory point situation here, which is what he needs to do. So I like Enterprise's position here. Oh, the commandos get found, though. They get burninated, shot up by everybody. They're going to have to fall back. Meanwhile, over here on the left flank, the Royal Engineers going to be pushed back, getting shot heavily here by all kinds of stormtroopers, pioneers. I'm somehow not losing a model? Wow. So they're going to get out of there. They're going to need some healing. And Jove now, as you just heard the announcer, taking the cutoff point here. That's pretty annoying. And here's the Panzer IV. The Cromwell's just coming onto the field shortly. So looks like we might have a tank battle here. Here it comes. Looks like this Cromwell's going to try and T-bone the Panzer IV. Why does he not engage? I think this would be a really sweet time. This Panzer IV is just chewing into his Vickers gun here. I'm not sure about this. Why is he waiting? He's waiting for the 6-pounder to try and get the edge in this fight. But Jove, like some kind of crazy psychic, already moving out. Now get the Cromwell in there, boy. Here we go. The sound of that engine as it flares up. About a billion backfires coming out of that. I believe it was like a Merlin engine or something. Anyway, look at the gun on that Cromwell. Just doesn't give a damn about Panzer IV armor. Going to get all the way around to the side. Boom! Combined with the 6-pounder, all that is needed. And Panzer IVs just never feel like enough. I knew there was a 6-pounder in that fight, but look how maneuverable and effective the Cromwell is. Ugh, savage. You know, I actually got to see a Cromwell about 3 weeks ago at the London PC Gamer Weekender event. They had a Cromwell parked out front. And they are intimidating vehicles, let me tell you. I mean, obviously they're tanks, so you expect them to be big, but seeing them in the flesh, they are really big. Anyway, let's see now. We got Tommy's here being forced back on the right flank. USS Enterprise's position still very compacted. He needs to push out. He's down at 243 under 465 victory points right now. The resource situation as well getting out of hand here. Now he's got this lovely Cromwell with a good amount of veterancy on it and a kill. He's got a very compact but reasonable army here. It looks like Jove going to be going for a Stug here, a reflection of the fact that he needs an AT answer fast, and a reflection of the fact that the Stug does provide superior, anti-tank DPS, I suppose, over the Panzer IV. So a smart choice, cheaper and more effective for what he wants it to do. Obviously, it requires more support, being an assault gun, but as I take a sip on my tea. So, yeah, these stormtroopers here finding a nice shot with the Shrek into the Cromwell. That's just going to be annoying if you're going to force the Cromwell back for some repairs. And time, of course, is what Jove is playing for here, because he's shortly going to have a triple cap established, and that looks like going to be the way he's going to try and win this game. Again, using this building. I feel like this one here would be way better for this Vickers. Trouble with this one is it's so close to this building, you just get stun grenaded all the time by Axis units just popping out and lobbing a stun grenade, it's kind of unfortunate. Anyway, speaking of which, actually, these stormtroopers, actually, sorry, these commandos managed to steal the building. Oh, that's really nice. So, wow, these stormtroopers are getting mowed down here. The fire from these commandos, whoa, why did he get out of the building? I feel like he was doing great damage there. Maybe he was afraid of a stun grenade. But anyway, gonna force that back. This Vickers gun needs to be in here. It's got 1-star veterancy. From here, it has the range bonus. It covers this whole courtyard. Like, this building is just awful because it can't shoot to the north. I cannot for the life... Is this building low on health? No, the church is still a dream church. It's still very comfortable. The House of God has exquisite furniture. They got some really plush pews in there. They got some, it's comfy in there for an MG crew. You can sit in there, find a good loophole, shoot away all day. Plenty o' Dakar. Anyway, Stug manages to find the Cromwell here, but the Cromwell also finds the Stug. The 6-pounder is in the Hoos and is going to be firing. Nearly gets another hit there. So that's going to really screen the Stug out. That means that the Cromwell here is probably just going to be free to hoon on this expensive infantry, grabbing itself the 1st star of veterancy there. Enterprise gathering up a bit more fuel. I'd love to see a land mattress. Meanwhile, the fight being taken in mid here. Royal Engineer is going to get outnumbered and outgunned. Now, this Vickers, please God, let it actually start doing something good. There we go. Finally, it starts firing. Tommy's here are going to be facing up against these stormtroopers. Probably going to need help from the Cromwell if they're going to take this fight. That Cromwell now getting a little low. I'm kind of a bit concerned. He needs to start repairing that. But the Cromwell's just so good. It just gives 2 of these stormtroopers like on the first shell. Oh, and here come the Royal Engineers on the repairs. So let's just check the tech here for the British players. He gone for hammer or anvil? He has not. So no danger of a Churchill/Comet tank coming out anytime soon. Although he does have the money to start thinking about those kind of options soon if he wanted to. And I personally think going for the hammer tactics to get gammon bombs on your Tommies, and also, of course, getting the emergency war speed on the Cromwell, and then having access to a Comet. I mean, that could all be backbreaking. Let's check the tech here for the Axis player. No sign of Battle Phase 3, no sign of that heavy Panzer Corps, no threat of Panzer tanks or Panzerwerfers anytime soon. So that's great news for USS Enterprise, who, you know, if he can just get his shit together and take middle, you know, and actually just play this game like Brits should be playing it, you know, get a land mattress here, get a mortar pit, you know, get a Vickers in the Dream Church, for the love of God, get a Vickers in the Dream Church, you know, then why does he favour this building? Please help me understand. Somebody tell me why he favours this building. There must be a reason, because it's only been bad for him. Like, he just keeps getting stun grenaded in the face and sprayed with bear mace, and has to keep abandoning this building. Whereas this one actually has the arc of fire to see, like, in every direction, covers the central courtyard so well. Like, that is a prickly position for a Vet 1 Vickers gun, you know. And I know it's Vet 2, I'm just saying it's Vet 1 is when it gets that crucial range upgrade. Anyway, here comes some Grenadiers, and of course, because the Vickers is in a stupid building, they're able to just walk on up, stun grenade it, start flaming stuff willy-nilly, blah blah blah, because they're in a stupid building. Come on, Enterprise, get your shit together, man. He's happy on the right flank, you know, the Pat Gun's in a lovely position, the Cromwell is getting repaired, is going to come back in here for another sledgehammer blow. He's got the money for another Cromwell if he wants, or he could go overkill and get a Firefly just as sort of like, you know, a lifetime insurance policy against any Axis armor. Stormtroopers going to get into this stupid building, but because it's so stupid they can't even hit the Cromwell, which is right next to them, so they're going to have to get back out. This is a stupid building! I mean, it's a great building, it's just not a very good one to, like, be garrisoning constantly with your Vickers gun. I'm sorry, I will get over that. I promise I will get over that and stop talking about it just as soon as I'm able to. Let's see now, we've got some Tommies here doing a dive behind the lines to take this munitions point. That is annoying and probably worth it here, so I like that a lot. Right now, the player's tied up for victory points, so USS Enterprise not bleeding out, but Jove will be changing that very shortly, I would have thought. Where is that bloody Vickers gun? It's not even... Okay, it's moving forward onto the field now, in need of a bit of medical kit usage, actually. Now, let's see. I just feel like Enterprise has actually been ahead more or less this whole game. Ooh, Panzer IV coming out now. The Stug alone is not really enough to deal with a Cromwell. Not unless he gets a sweet engagement with a Panzerfaust or some mines. But a Stug plus a Panzer IV, that is actually worrisome. That is actually downright dangerous for this Cromwell, which actually, speaking of downright dangerous, it's being engaged here with a Shrek in its flank. There we go, the Stug starts biffing some damage in, and it will have to get out. A 2-star Cromwell, not what you want to be losing. Did the Vickers gun just die in this building? Oh, I think it did. Like, the Vickers gun definitely just died, and I believe it was in this stupid house. It hasn't dropped if that was where it died, but anyway. Royal Engineers are going to repair this Cromwell as quickly as they can. And looks like it is going to be a Firefly, the choice here for Enterprise. And, you know, I actually really like this since Jove's gone for this Panzer IV. The Firefly just totes trumps the Panzer IV and the Stug, so that's going to be grimy. He has the munitions for the tank commander. Maybe not the tulips, of course, but he does have it for the tank commander. And now the commandos here getting shredded by the stormtroopers. Battle of the elite infiltratee infantry going on there. And a double fallback is called down in the end. Looks like these engineers going to just about escape. This 6-pounder in a bit of jeopardy, but it is going to get out of there. Now he's going to get line of sight on these vehicles, but it's too late. They've pushed back out of the range here. Jove too smart to take an unnecessary hit from that 6-pounder. But here comes the Firefly, and it's immediately routing over to that right-hand flank here, which is pretty cool. Now, what the British player has... Why is this building showing up red on the map? Look at that on the minimap. It shows up red like there's some British units in there, but there just aren't. How strange. Oh, nice! Commandos managed to find a Pat gun. Oh, the Dakar is too much, and the Pat gun is... there it is, gonna die. The Commandos get out of there. Nice pickups there for Enterprise. That's the kind of shizzle he needs to be doing, actually using his commander. But you know what, actually, these commandos are in negative cover. They've taken a substantial amount of damage from the stormtroopers. Just one remains. He's falling back. The LMG-42 has him in arc. That's a 3-star LMG-42 squad. He is going to get out of there, but that was closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought for a second he might even lose that. What the? He's bought tulips. Why would you buy tulips and not the tank commander? You can't afford to fire the tulips, boy. Costs him 100 munitions. I feel like this is like Enterprise is not actually that comfortable with British forces. It's like he's watched the game a lot but hasn't played them that much or something, you know? He's just making a lot of weird choices and not quite playing them quite to their strengths. Like, that's just, like, why would you ever go for tulips? Maybe this was a misclick and he kind of thought he clicked on the tank commander? I don't know.
Commando sections has been lost.
Oh no, and the commandos have been destroyed. Okay, yeah, commandos, the boys from Ireland getting mowed down here in mid. I think Jove's getting back into this game quite handily here. Tommy's going to take up a nice position, but there's no 5-man squad upgrades still. Also, there's no weapon racks, so there's no Bren guns, which mean that these Tommies are going to have a bloody hard time of it, mate. Cromwell here going for a bit of an overrun on all these units. That's quite nice, but the Stug's going to come through here, and that's probably going to push away the medium tank. Yeah, I would have thought so. Firefly might decide to commit here. It's not even set to prioritize vehicles. USS Enterprise. The reason I sound frustrated at his play is because he's played so well. He's given Jove a really good run for his money, but he's just making small mistakes here. And small mistakes at the high end of play are always punished so much. What the? Firefly just smiting with the high velocity cannon, just smiting at a grenadier there. That's not what you expect. Anyway, oh wow, he's gets a massive hit on the Stug there. The Panzer IV dackering in. We've got more fighting over here on the left flank. Again, the battle of the elite infantry. Whoa, Joe's staying a little too long here. Okay, he's going to get out of there just in the nick of time with that Stormtrooper, but damn, that was a little closer than I thought he might leave it. But anyway, where is this? This Firefly. Still no tank commander, still not set to prioritize vehicles. It's like, come on, Enterprise. You can beat this man. You can beat Jove. You have demonstrated you have the ability. Like, Enterprise here has the capacity. He has the strength. He can do it. He can do it. He's just not actually making the right decisions with his units. So, you know, is he just... Oh my god, another Panzer IV? I'm not sure I like that, because the Firefly's been revealed. But alright, if that's how you want to play it, Jove, I've got to respect your judgment on this one as we move into the 32nd minute. Jove's about to establish a triple cap, though. And, you know, Enterprise's position is increasingly compacted. So he's got to be really careful here. Cromwell here is actually going to find some grenadiers in this building. Remember, this Cromwell does now have improved targeting and rate of fire, so it's a pretty spicy tank now. Engineers on the right flank here going to get flushed immediately, and there need to be British units capturing this point yesterday, because Enterprise's main concern right now is that scoreline, and he's going to be forced into taking some pretty bad fights if that score continues to decrease. Cromwell doing some fantastic damage. A battle in mid here as one squad of Tommies running into a ridiculous concave. Oh, they get mowed down. I think that might have been the game-breaking squad loss right there, because now Enterprise doesn't really have the troops he needs. And the Firefly manages to find a pack gun. That's pretty unfortunate. Looks like this Cromwell might take a shell from it as well. Wow, this Cromwell is fearless. He's playing a dangerous game here. The Firefly needs to GTFO. It's getting hooved on quite badly. And now there's a Stug here in a great position. Here come the Panzer IVs. The pack guns found the Firefly again. Oh, it's all falling apart here for Enterprise. This is a terrible fight. That Cromwell is... Oh, the tulips come down, though. The second one did not explode. What was up with that? And the 6-pounder is actually here on backup, so I thought he was for sure going to lose the Firefly, maybe even the Cromwell as well, but somehow he gets away with it. But you know what? He might still just lose the game because, you know, he's unable to actually capture the map, and this is why the choice of the other Panzer IV is good. Of course, he's not trying to win an engagement against a Firefly, although the Panzer IV can be useful there. All he's trying to do is have enough armoured units to pressure across a wide enough front. His opponent can't possibly get any of these buildings. Now, the land mattress is going to start flailing rockets across the map, but flailing is just the word for it, because, you know, there's just no units here. It's just flailing out into the open. Jesus, the barrage on this is just insane, isn't it? Holy spoons. How often can it do that? Like, once every 2 minutes. Okay, wow. Well, once every sort of, you know, 2 1/4 or 2.5 minutes, but that's... Jesus. That's not bad, is it? Look at that smouldering craterscape. Wow. I do like the graphics in this game, you know. The engine is a constant delight. Everyone always forgets just how nice this game looks. Like, the first time I played it, I was like, oh my god, you can see what all the little dudes are doing. Look at that guy, he's like taking cover behind a wall, now he's taking some shots, now he's been shot in the head. Like, the detail, it was like watching your very own little version of Saving Private Ryan play out in front of you. It was so cool. It still is really cool, it's just I'm kind of like, I have to remind myself not to be that used to it, you know. Anyway, let's turn our attention back to the game here. I kind of think like USS Enterprise has missed his opportunity to win this one. You know, he's no longer at the peak of his strength. His army has been depleted considerably. Jove's army has repleted considerably. It's looking really good. And I don't know, like, Enterprise is going to have an incredibly tough job if he wants to take this one. This Panzer IV is just going to be laying into these Tommies. Of course, now they can do. The British forces do not have a tank snare on their Tommies, unless, of course, you go for the special weapons tactics, Commander. But anyway, And this Firefly taking a hit off of the Panzerschreck. Don't know where that came from, but taking a hit off. Oh, there's a Panzerschreck on these guys, right? And the Tommies on the left, 3-star Tommies being thrown away for Naut here. Well, I suppose not for Naut. They did decap this point, but that's not enough. And now there are Shreks hooning in. This Panzer IV wants a piece of this Firefly. The Tulips come down there, and he gets the Panzer IV. A nice pick up there. Very nice. Jove didn't keep that tank moving. Yep, the 100 munition Tulip's gonna do the job there. Now the tank commander has still not been purchased.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
That is just 25 munitions. Like, that would be exquisitely well spent on that tank commander there. But whatever.
The gun is not crude.
I mean, arguably, if he'd have bought that, he wouldn't have had the munitions for the Tulips. So anyway, the 3-star Cromwell finds itself in jeopardy. Rear armor hanging out against a pack gun. Never where you want to be. He's going to get that Cromwell out of there. But I feel like we're watching the dying moments here, the death throes of USS Enterprise here. He's a wounded man right now. He's backed into a corner, desperately firing over his shoulder at the pursuing Jove, who's hounding on in right now. The dogs are out. Jove is like the Gestapo right now, hounding USS through the streets. And there's just nowhere to go. There's no safe house in sight. No friends, no allies. That was the most random metaphor. Magpie, what are you, like, jeez. That's, yeah, anyway. Sometimes I look back at my casts and I think about the things I say and I'm just like, really, Magpie? Really? That's what casting has become? That's what you've been reduced to. But then I remember that actually I just enjoy the hell out of it and I don't take these things too seriously, and I'm just like, yep, that's cool. We're just gonna roll with that. Anyway, sorry. Firefly here going to come into contact with the Panzer IV, as I'm sure you all saw. But I mean, 50 points, as you just heard the announcer mention, for the British player, and just not enough to make a move happen here. And I feel like Enterprise here just made a few. I'm going to switch to post-mortem mode and start talking about this like the game is already over, which is a bit awkward because it's not quite over. But I am going to switch to post-mortem mode, right? The way that USS Enterprise took fights in middle was kind of bad. Like, when you play as the British forces, you don't take fights that way. That's not how fights you take look. You put the Vickers in this building, like, because he just, especially against a doctrine with stun grenades, you don't use this building. You put the Vickers over here, or you have 2 Vickers, that's fine. And you put one here, or you put one here, or you put one here. Like, you know, there are so many good configurations for Vickers in this center of the map here for the British player, and I feel like he managed to find the one bad configuration. This Cromwell here going, like, berserk. Trying to take on like a Stug and a Panzer IV. Somehow the Firefly comes in here actually, and he's going to start taking some shots against these tanks. He's going to go for an attack round maybe. No, he finds the Stug instead. This Firefly coming in for a super deep dive actually, very dangerous. But I figure the game's nearly over here. He's going to impale the Panzer IV, just absolutely lancing that one side to the other. I imagine the crew probably got sucked out the other side by the velocity of that shell going through the compartment. And now it looks like the Firefly is going to try and get itself a Stug kill here, but it looks like he's going to lose sight of that Stug. But yeah, also I think the commandos weren't used that well. They managed to pick up one pack gun very nicely, but that was the only time I saw them be absolutely ace. To be fair, there were some good gammon bombs lobbed, for example, into this building halfway through the game, but Jove was just on form and did not let that be a problem for him. He's going to grab this pack gun as well, actually. There's a Tiger Ace on the field now. Wow, that probably will seal the deal. Yep. Looks like USS Enterprise is going to choose this moment to leave the game, and who can blame him? He is soundly defeated at this moment. But like I say, you know, he got off to a really good start in this game. Like for most of the early and mid game, he looked actually like he was in a superior position to Jove. But his play with the AEC, like he just kind of threw the AEC away for nothing. Which like he threw it away for like a chance of killing the Ostwind. Which eventually he converted by using his 6-pounder. The Ostwind was picked off like around here. But that's just too flimsy of a way to treat your AAC. Far better, I think, to fall it back. I believe it was 2-star vet as well at that point. So far better to fall it back, repair it. You know, the Ostwind is not a very good unit at that time. I think that was a bit of... I'm not really sure what Jove's thinking was picking that unit. It was okay, but, you know, a 6-pounder arrived and you know... the AEC was already there, so that Ostwind was always going to be a bit of a liability. So the AEC was thrown in. That could have been fallen back and repaired. You can take that fight against the Ostwind in your own time later on. You can set it up a bit better. You know, you don't have to risk, or you don't have, it wasn't even a risk. He just threw that AEC away. No way the AEC was getting out of there. And it wasn't the first time, actually. He played it really aggressively earlier on, and I was amazed he got it out of there scot-free. In fact, that's right. He got lucky, and Jove had no munitions, as I recall. Or was that the Cromwell? Anyway, He was just far too aggressive with the AC, far too aggressive. That thing could have been alive and being very useful all the way to the late game if it was microed well. I think he could have used mines more. He did get a lovely hit on the Ostwind with mines in this location. He could have used mines more, although I suppose munitions were pretty flatlining for Enterprise that whole game. His positioning with the Vickers and the way he tried to take fights in mid, this is normally Brit's strong point on this map. Like, taking fights in mid, this is what the British like to fight in, you know? Plenty of garrisons, lots of nice cover to use. Tommies, Royal Engineers, and Vickers guns can be very strong in this kind of an environment. His sniper didn't really do very much and then got mowed down in this position, I think through inattention. So that's just like, all of these are just small things. And I think if even just 2 of these small things had have gone differently, he probably could have won this game, USS Enterprise. Like, I feel like this is the best challenge to Jove's supremacy. Maybe Angriffen, maybe Panzer Grenadier Angriffen came closer in that other game I cast. But anyway, USS Enterprise, he came so close, and it all just kind of fell apart. And I get the feeling like he's not quite used to playing Brits. Like, it just seems like they're maybe one of his less played factions. I don't know. That's just the impression I got. But even so, he put together a fantastic game to his credit. Pushed Jove like pretty well this entire game, but the scoreline tells the story really. And USS Enterprise is going to be forced to GG. I do look forward to seeing more games from him, though, because that was, you know, he definitely played well there. He is definitely, as I suspected, a player of high caliber. So, yes, that, I believe, will bring this video to a conclusion. Thank you very much for everybody out there watching and subscribing. We've now passed 500 subscribers. That is quite epic, and I'll have to think of something ridiculously fun to do for that. But yes, indeed. For now, this is Magpie842 signing out.